So things that I've learned since I have breast cancer that I wish I knew before that I'm sharing just because I feel if people don't stop to even read stuff, all this is online, but until you find out you have it, you don't ever read it because you don't think it'll ever be you. But there are different kinds of breast tissue. There's dense breast tissue and normal. And I have dense, and I didn't know that you're 40% more likely to get cancer if you have dense breast tissue. The other thing I didn't know is that if you're my dad had prostate cancer, and I didn't know that's a link to breast cancer. So if you have one or more first degree relative, like a father or a brother who has had prostate cancer, you're at more risk for breast cancer. I had a sister that had breast cancer, so I'm at more risk there, and plus the dense breast. So that was like 3 factors. And obviously I've been tested for the genetic testing, and we didn't have what's called the BRCA1 or BRCA2 gene, but there's other mutations that you can have. So I just wish I would have known, 1 out of 8 women apparently get breast cancer. That's a lot. And 65,000 people go through the Mayo Clinic for breast cancer every year. That's a lot. So I don't feel special because, there's a lot of people going through this. But the one thing that I wish I would have known, and I actually learned this from Lane Larson, who was our former superintendent who's had breast cancer twice. She went to a cancer awareness seminar, and it was just like part of her job when she lived in Bagley. And the educator said, if you set an alarm in your calendar to do a monthly breast check in the shower, you will probably find lumps before your mammogram or whatever. You've got to do both. You got to do the mammogram, and I would suggest the 3D, pay for the upcharge. It's worth it. A wig costs more than the upcharge. You'll be getting a lot of wigs once you get cancer. So pay for the upcharge. But anyway, the self-check, that's how she found it, just from going to that awareness, and if it hadn't spread. So the big thing here is the early check. You're gonna save yourself a lot of chemo. You'd save because then you might only have to have radiation. 2 of our directors have breast cancer right now, 2 of our Just for Kicks directors, and one caught it so early that she just had to have radiation. And I don't mean to say just, because it's a lot, but it's a less invasive treatment than going through chemo and radiation and a mastectomy, so. Yeah, so the monthly checks are really huge, and everybody I've networked with, almost everybody found it themselves. Almost 100% of the people. Very few that I've talked to found it. You do need the mammogram too, but you need both. And men can get breast cancer. I have a good friend who's a man, and he had breast cancer. He found it himself and went into his doctor and found out it was breast cancer. So that's weird to think that men can get it too. Obviously it's a less percentage, but it does happen. My husband has been simply amazing. He researched everything when I was still too whirling to even go there. And at first he was just annoying me because he was on the internet all the time. But actually I think a lot of what he found out is things I needed to know, like on diet. And I think that the things that have helped me get through it is laughing. And I'm really reaching out to friends. My husband and I, we watch Friends every night, 3 episodes, just to laugh at stupid stuff and let it go a little bit. And then also my personal friends, I've reconnected with a lot of people that I haven't seen for a while, and making time to meet with those people that you really truly care about and want to see is important. And it kind of helps you through it. I've been so fortunate that I have such a wide network that literally I probably get 5 cards a day in the mail, but it just means so much because you get these cards, and it might be a day where you're kind of having a tough day. And so I think that that's something to know too, is what do you do when your friend's going through breast cancer? It's hard to know what to say, what to do. I think the most important thing you can say is, I'm so sorry you're going through this. You don't have to say anything else, really. That's about all you have to say. But people, it's weird because some people ghost you. They don't know what to say, so they kind of ghost you, which is fine. It's kind of like the same after you experience, if you've gone through a death. A lot of people don't know what to say to you. But I just find it's really important to keep busy, and I want to keep doing things so that I keep my mind going and not just dwelling on it, because you can get yourself into a dark place. And I'm just trying to plan after I recover celebrations and what to do, but right now I've been going to all my grandkids' football games. I've been going to volleyball games for my granddaughter, going to my granddaughter's dance stuff, and I choreograph 3 days a week this week with my high school kids. So I'm trying to do a lot of stuff, and you just want to keep making a difference, and it makes you realize, everyone, like all the stuff that you thought was so important, and like if you made the A team or the C team, and it's just all so short-lived that you got to think long range, what's important, and enjoying your life and having fun.